welcome back to the Valley in the Shade. You're here with a man named Jack and a special guest wife, Doctress Straussberry. Say howdy.
That's me. Hello.
That's not a howdy.
It'll never be a howdy.
It'll be a howdy someday.
It won't.
I'll find out what your breaking point is, and I'll take you there, and you'll say howdy just to get me to stop doing something.
You wonder why I say don't touch me.
No, thank you.
Anyways, we're doing more Epic the Musical, if you hadn't noticed a trend on my channel. Today, we are on Done For, of course, music by the fantastic Jorge Rivera-Herrans. Today, we're looking at an animatic by Pyrite, who is an animator that I am unfamiliar with. One of the lesser-known ones by the look of it, so excited to see a new take. There's a lot of really good animations for this one. The Circe saga is incredibly hotly contested for who has the best animatics, so I'm hyped to see something I haven't seen before.
Yeah, so again, I've been the one screening these and then suggesting them to my husband here. So this one is my favorite so far that I've seen, and this is also, I think, one of the newer ones as well.
So without any further ado, let's get into it.
So right off the bat, one thing I love about music is how similar it is to Carmen, which a few other reactors have already said, but when I was first going through this, it reminded me a lot of do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Why not forget her? I'm so much better. My name's Carmen Helga and I'm awfully sweet.
Also, ooh, that is a sexy man.
That is a very attractive Odysseus. I have a weakness for attractive Odyssei.
Of the palace, sorry that I asked this, but I hope that I've been misinformed. I sent out some scouts to take a
Ooh, no, we gotta look at that still a little bit longer.
Oh my gosh.
Queen.
Like, I feel like it's definitely a design that's reminiscent of Gigi's. But it pays great homage to Gigi's. But I think this design still feels like enough of its own. Like the hair is definitely poofier in a way that's similar where Odysseus feels like Aladdin. This is giving more Jasmine, especially around the lip area.
Maybe baddie Jasmine. That's a good look.
take a look around through here, and they wound up at your doors. Through the years we seldom get a warm welcome, so I must...
Also, I love this little necklace right here. It reminds me of the conch shell from The Little Mermaid that Ursula has, / Vanessa. I wonder if that's a callback to that or if it was some sort of inspiration.
But incredibly long hair Circe, it's a good look.
Ask just to be sure. Did you do something to them?
Did you do something to them? Just like, He's just like, I just want my men back. Like, we're not here to cause trouble. Just like, you know, what'd you do to them?
Hey, mate. All I did was reveal their true form.
You turned them into pigs.
Ooh, ham!
But is she wrong?
No, I don't think so.
Also, it's a subtle difference, but a lot of animatics for this bit will draw Circe with like a sly smile with that mischievous grin of all I did was reveal their true forms. I like that this one is scowling. Just a little bit. It's not a heavy scowl, but the furrowed brow, you know, the pinched, like, tight lips, the posture. This is a much more aggressive look for Circe than a lot of them paint for this intro. Yeah,
much more jaded.
Very incredibly jaded. And I'm not going to say that one approach is better than another, but it's a different look. It's a unique look.
Yeah, this is why I chose Pyrites, because it feels so unique compared to everything else I've seen. It's doing its own thing, which I really appreciate.
We respect that, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love the other animators who have gone with this very in control Circe and who has fun with her magic, as I think magic should be a thing that you have fun with. But I also feel like turning men into pigs is a little bit boring, and maybe she was just like, man, if only I'd turn them into weasels.
You turn them into pigs.
I don't know who you are, know why you're here, but let me make this one thing clear. I've got people to protect, nymphs I can't neglect, so I'm not If you make one wrong move, then you're done for.
The conch shell turning into the weapon is such a good touch.
Like, back here with the lighting drop to go with the menacing as she's jumping in behind him.
This Cersei feels just a lot more powerful in general, you know?
And the glow effect emanating from behind her
and
with
the fact
weapon.
that it's gotten dark around her as well.
And that's not even waist length. That is full ankle length hair.
She feels like a proper attractive nymph in this one, if that makes sense.
And she's got the thigh highs.
I don't know if they're thigh highs. They look like boots to me.
I mean, thigh high boots?
Either way, very attractive.
As thigh high stockings, thigh high boots, you can have a bunch of different thigh high things that
She's wearing a lot of fetish wear, and I'm okay with that. And
We ship it.
I like that she's wielding a sword. I can't remember if anyone else has done that.
I don't think so. Most animators animate her as disarmed and armed only with her magic.
I like that she's using both. That she's turning her conch shell, using her magic and manifesting it into a sword.
Yeah, there's a comic, GRRRL Power, Girl Power. It deals with superheroes, and one of them is like the Superman of that world can shoot laser beams from her fingers, and they talk about, why does she carry a gun if she can, literally fire earth-melting lasers from her fingertips? And to prove a point, she points at the main character, and the main character's like, oh, why are you pointing at me? And then she sighs and pulls out the gun and points it at her, and she freaks the fuck out. And it's the thing, it doesn't matter if you have godlike magical power or supernatural abilities, the implicit threat of holding a recognizable weapon sends a much more visceral reaction, even if the weapon is superfluous. Even if she could, crush him to bits just with magic, her holding a sword sends a much more visual threat, and I love that for this shot. God, it's a good shot.
I mean, in general, Cersei is just giving warrior princess right now. One thing that I want to say before we go on is that one thing that I love about this song is how demanding it is to be choreographed, and not necessarily in the way that I think Wouldn't You Like is. It feels like it should be a song that has a very high octane fight between Odysseus and Cersei over here. They'll obviously get into it later, but I would love to see just an actual sword fight without the proxies, I suppose.
Something in the vein of Pirates of the Caribbean 1, Captain Jack meeting Will Turner. That is a beautifully choreographed fight scene. I would love to see an elegant, incredibly choreographed fight scene with swords set in time to the music.
Something that also has the tango in it, something that's like a dance, something that's focused on the footwork, but also has the fighting in it.
And maybe have a bit in the middle where they lock blades with one hand and grab each other's hands with the other, and they have a bit of a mock dance moment while they're having a power clash. You could have so much fun with the choreography for something like that. It would be so cool.
Then you're done for. Anything I don't approve, then you're done for. I can put a spell on you. When you're done for, boy, you better run, or soon you will be done for.
I don't mean to tip your scale, but you will fail.
Great work on the lighting effect, Pyrite. It is so beautiful. But also, I don't know, maybe it's because I love Sugar Apple Fairy Tale so much. And one of the best villains in that entire series was Gladys. And I like to think that that little string of power could have just ended him right there. I think she's keeping him alive just because he's hot.
That wasn't just a magical thread. That was a garrote weapon string that she could have just sliced his neck with. Would have been...
But I think I like to headcanon that she is very attracted to him.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's I'll talk about that headcanon a little bit later, but 100% approve. Also, Odysseus well, I don't mean to... This smile, this smug little oh, you only think you have the upper hand. It's a great look. But also, you mentioned it, I want to talk a little bit more about the color. It is a very normal thing for these animatics to have a very simple color gradient, kind of monochrome style where everything is in a single shade, and some of the characters get darkened a little bit to contrast against the background, and that's, well and good and cool and functional, but the amount of work that you can put in just by snapping that to a different color every now and then, like, this is a color, and then it doesn't take a lot of extra effort to darken it for when it darkens, but then when the tone shifts again, having that snap to a much lighter shade, it maintains the requirement of an animatic that it is simple and easy to do, while also bringing in a very effective lighting change for the shift in tone. And I always like calling it out. I love when there are small things you can do that have a high yield payout. I love tricks like that. Yeah. It's very good.
Also, I want to talk about Cersei's expression right here really fast. I love that Odysseus just took back all the control from her, and you can see it on her expressions, just like, I did all of that just now to intimidate you, and it didn't work.
Yeah, Cersei rolled the nat 1 on the intimidate, and she is, like, proverbially and physically on the back foot. Like, even her posture is, like, she's rocked back on her heels a little bit, and she's uncertain, because this is the part where the mortals run away screaming, and he's like,
No, I don't think so.
She's into it, though. I'm into it.
Oh, yeah, she's like, oh no, am I getting turned on by this?
Yeah. But you will fail at placing any spells on me. I just stayed a...
I want to talk about that expression, too. That expression is like, all right, I'm curious. I'll let him cook. Mm-hmm. Like, she doesn't consider him a threat yet, but she's curious at this point. Curious enough, at least, to not, like, go for the throat while he's doing his Magic Girl animation scene. She's like, okay, all right, let's see what you've got, Magic Boy.
State a flower, one that claims your power, so you better cower now and flee.
You must be a liar, mortals can't acquire money without dire consequence.
Then I must be a god like you, cause I got this root from the ground with my bare hands.
Hermes gave it to you, didn't he?
Okay, fine, yes. Well, regardless.
I love that pose.
This is the best moment of this song, and like the
best moment of the animatic as well.
Yeah, the sink or swim for most animatics for this song is how they depict this moment, because there's just so many different things you can do with it, and him to be like, oh, okay, yeah, fine, whatever, don't worry about it.
Fine, yes. Well, regardless. You and I are now evenly matched. Our fates are intertwined, they're attached. I've got people to protect, friends I can't neglect.
You missed! How could you miss? It was 3 feet in front of you!
So now there is no turning back. You've made your one wrong move, now you're done for.
Actually, that's something else I want to talk about here. Again, on the subject of color gradient backgrounds, again, we snap back to Cersei's pink tones for this. Very simple, darker pink at the top, lighter pink at the bottom. Thanks to YouTube compression, you can actually see like the banding and the color gradient on the way down. And that's good. Most of the times in most naturally lit buildings, they'll be brighter towards the floor because that's the angle that the sunlight's coming in. But when it gets a little bit further in over here, it actually inverts and it's darker at the floor and lighter up in the ceiling. I don't know, I don't know if I have the right words to describe what that's doing to the scene, but it is an interesting inversion of that gradient, especially as she's summoning the monster. It makes the scene look much darker than it actually is.
Wrong move, now you're done for. I will be the one to prove that you're done for.
So I really, really like that someone didn't go for the classic Cyclops design for whatever
Odysseus summons.
Yeah, the creative being that Hermes was talking about. Like, granted, I know that the canon version is the Cyclops, and I want to talk about that as a choice for Jorge. I think it's a good choice, and it's one that makes sense.
Because one of the most terrifying things Odysseus has ever seen in his life was and is that Cyclops, so it makes sense that he would summon that as the most ferocious beast to try to protect him.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Harry Potter and the prisoner.
Patronus.
Yeah, and the Patronus and the Prisoner of Azkaban, where he has to think about what he fears the most. And that's one of my favorite character things for Odysseus, is that he trying to weaponize the thing that brought him the most pain.
And I get that, and it's a cool bit, and it's meaningful, and it's insightful.
I still think it should be a wolf.
Yeah, I'm with Strawberry in this one. A wolf that is.
It could still be a cycloptic wolf.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, have it be a dire wolf with a horn. You know, it can be a supernatural wolf, but something in the canine family, because Odysseus is the wolf pack, his son's the little wolf. It would feel more in character for him to pull from his origins and his roots, as opposed to what he is afraid of in
the thing
the moment.
that would make him the most brave. Like, I feel like having a bird here also makes sense. Like, if it had been like a giant owl or a giant bird, that whatever Zeus's thing is.
Well, that's probably what it's intended to be. It's probably intended to be an owl.
Well, it made an eagle noise.
Oh, well,
And again, but I just do want to say thank you to Pyrite for doing something other than a Cyclops. Again, I get it. It's the canon version, but I'm glad that we're not all necessarily, or that the animators aren't necessarily beholden to canon and doing their own thing.
And that is one of the fun things about having so many different animators picking up this musical, is seeing them each put their own unique flavor on it. Mm-hmm. The fun part of seeing different people take different scenes is seeing different people's interpretations of that scene, different poses, different placements, different actions. Like, that's what's keeping the fandom alive. It's what keeps the interest there when you hear, someone else made a new animatic for this scene. I wonder what they did differently.
Like, I definitely still want there to be, like, the Cyclops to an extent, but I still think it should be either a wolf or a bird or anything like that. Something that has previously informed Odysseus as a person.
I'm thinking
it could even be the boar, for all I care.
I'm thinking either wolf or boar. Bird would be cool for an owl for Athena, but
I think the wolf makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Give him that connection to Telemachus, and give that whole father and son kind of thing, you know, where his family is his wolf pack, and it's the thing that he's trying to get back to the most.
Yeah, and the only other downside of a bird is birds are ambush predators. They're not really the type of creature known for getting into a brawl and coming out on top.
Well, one thing I think you could get away with this is that it blinds the lion.
Could be, yeah.
Not even a spell saves you, 'cause you're done for. Oh, you better run, or soon you will be gotcha, bitch.
Just take her power. Oh, that feels a little bit sexual abusey. I like it, though.
I take back everything I just said. An ambush predator makes sense because your target isn't her monster, your target is her.
Well, I'll be darn tootin'.
That was really
Taking
clever.
her power, that feels... I mean, considering what the reason why she turned the men into pigs,
Mm-hmm.
and that the implications of the background for why she is the way she is,
It's a little bit dark, but it fits.
It feels very...
I like it.
I love that, though.
Yeah,
that's kind of hot. Ooh, Odysseus just got hotter. Ooh.
Mercy.
You've lost.
My nymphs are like my daughters, I protect them at all costs. The last time we let strangers live, we faced a heavy loss. You've given me no reason to bestow you with my trust, but everyone's true colors are revealed in acts of lust.
I'm in trouble.
I'm not sure I follow.
Odysseus! Oh my god! He's such a good husband. I love him. It feels like he does know what's going on, but he's just like,
I'm a marriage spud.
Imagine, like, the thoughts running through your head. You're in a life or death grudge match with the, quote, evil, unquote, witch that turned all your men into pigs. You got the upper hand, and she's like, hey, listen, how about, instead of fighting, let's just fuck.
You want some fuck?
And you're like, what? I don't, what?
Are we in a hentai?
Oh, no, we're done. Never mind.
But let's look more at this design real fast.
Yeah.
It is definitely reminiscent of Gigi's for sure.
Damn.
But boy, is it also a nice improvement as well.
So, I don't know if it's like something in the hair or the clothing, but
maybe both. Why not both?
Something about that design is also just faintly giving Aerith vibes. And it might just be the bone structure of the face, but
I think it's the braid.
It's the braid?
I feel like it's the braid.
Like, it's giving Aerith crossed with baddie Princess Jazz. Man, and she is wearing thigh-high stockings with the belly dancer jangles. Man, that is... Like, that is a proper seductress queen. Like, hats off to you, Pyrite. That's an incredible design.
Yeah, I love that the base is GG Designs, but it was made so much sexier. Just
we love you too, Pyrite.
Beautiful work. Just...
Animations are a little bit traumatizing, but you'll improve. Give yourself more credit, fam.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
Yeah, you deserve all of the praise, honestly. Pyrite, I'm so impressed.
Assuming this is you, like, dropping the pen, or the style's like, my hand hurts, but I'm finally done.
Mm-hmm.
Pyrite, great job with it. I'm hyped to see what else you'll do and how you'll improve, but for an opening offering, like, I don't know if this is the first one you've done or just early on, but you've got like a very strong sense of posing and placement and lighting. Like, you've got really good foundational understanding for how to visualize a scene.
I would love to see Pyrite do the next song, There Are Other Ways, because I love the belly dancer look.
Yeah, man.
Like, it implies dancing.
I would love to see There Are Other Ways with this Cersei design. It would be hot. It'd be real hot.
Just great job overall. You deserve all of the love and the praise, and give yourself some grace.
With all that said, though, well, thank you all so much for watching. If you got this far in the video, don't forget to comment, because because if you don't comment, you're not real. But until next time, we will see you right here on the dark side.
Bye!